Hi, guys. Welcome to AnnieWood, episode 21. We're very excited. We have a challenge-heavy MTV real-world reality champion, a champion, one of the greats, one of an incredible ambassador for strength, perseverance. We have Jordan Wiseley from The Real World and the Challenge on. He's so cool. We're so excited to have him.
He's so good. And it's like, you don't even need to even watch the challenge to get his enjoyment, because he really is he's a firecracker, that guy.
He's a firecracker. He's a delightful man. But we know you challenge people are going to freak out, you challenge fans. And the rest of you, stick with it and get into the challenge.
Ooh, there's some hot gossip in this one. You guys,
it's juicy. It's definitely juicy. And I hope all of the people from the challenge that I talked about realize that I love them so. And
every single one of them.
And even if I tease them, we had a lot of fun. We went to
Tampa, the Carolinas.
And then we went to North Carolina. And let me tell you something about the place. We were in North Carolina.
We were South Carolina, North Carolina, all the Carolinas. South Carolina,
North Carolina. Let me tell you something. There were a few of you sluggies and you woodies that came out. And then the rest of yous was people that were like, I never even seen a girl that wasn't my sister before.
They were like, what the heck is a podcast?
What is a podcast? And what's the internet? It was wild. It was wild. There was a lot of close siblings, if you know what I mean, which I thought was a little more South Carolina, but it was in the north. They migrated up. But it was very fun. It was an interesting.
We also want to let you guys know to follow the Welcome to AnnieWood channel. Yes, we have a
Welcome to AnnieWood Instagram now. We're going to be doing lives on there and posting AnnieWood content. And it's going to be,
once the following gets higher, then we're going to be really leaning into I was going to say the F word, but good thing I didn't, because it's the first 10 minutes.
I already said the F word.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But you're probably going to edit that part out anyway, because it was me yelling at you. But yeah, we're going to have fun on that Instagram. So follow it. It's not going to be a regular comedy podcast Instagram where they just post the regular clips. Like, we're going to be doing a lot each day.
It's like a lot of behind the scenes, a lot of just me and Annie goofing around.
A lot of goofing around. You can see what makes us tick and what gives us the ick. I'm going to be in a lot of places. We've been having a great time. Todd's going to be on a couple more of the shows, but Todd did get a new job. He's working on a new Netflix show. So make sure you watch his other Netflix shows.
Outlast.
We have Emmy Award winning Making Fun, which is a children's show. You guys check that one out. And then we have one of the most brilliant, amazing wilderness/survival/competition shows, Outlast, that's on Netflix. We keep forgetting to mention it. But it was number 3 for most Number two for weeks.
We're just behind you.
Just behind you. Starring our favorite
Penn Badgley.
I was thinking about the guy that I used to do comedy with. Anyway, check that out. And then there's a new show coming out. I don't know if we can announce it, so we won't say what it is. But
yeah, but it's interesting.
It's
you guys are going to like it.
It's a reboot. It's going to be really cool and very fun. And Todd's working on that. So I will be on the road alone. So I definitely need you guys to come. I'm just going to have, my muscle is now going to actually be muscle.
We got new merch coming out soon.
We have new merch coming.
We designed the new merch. You guys are going to love it.
It's very cute, very fun.
I think we're going to call it the AnnieWood California line.
Yes, AnnieWood California line.
Because that's where we live, AnnieWood, California.
That's where we all live.
That's where we all live. It's her world. We're living in it.
But you can see us, if Todd can get his passport in time, in Toronto. Randy can come, I realize. So you really do need to get your passport.
Don't start with me.
April 21st and 22nd. Then I'm going to be coming back to North Carolina to a different populace in Raleigh. So come to it. And if you guys came to the shows in Greensboro, I want you to understand that was a different type of performance I had to give. Okay?
That was a different Annie.
That was a fight or flight survival mode I was in. And it was fun and it was great. And I had a wonderful time. But if you want to see the actual set, what's going to end up in an hour, what's going to end up on Netflix, you come to the show and you see me work it out. Okay, guys, I will then be so Raleigh, North Carolina is May 12th and 13th. I'm finally coming to McGoobies, okay? I've been wanting to do Baltimore. I know that this sounds crazy, but I'm a big fan of the Baltimore types of cities.
Ooh, they got the crab there.
We got so much crab there last time we were there. And I will tell you, as a girl from Philly, Baltimore and Philly share the same white trash accent. So I'm really excited to be at McGoobies. June 2nd and 3rd. And then I'm going to be in Salt Lake City at Wise Guys, June 9th and 10th. And then I'm going to be in Calgary at the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival with Andrew Schultz, August 27th. And we're going to add a lot more dates. We've got another La Jolla date coming up. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
All right, guys, you enjoyed this episode. It's one of the best there is. It's one of the funniest there is. And it's
Todd was
just
editing this and laughing so hard upstairs. But we are really excited. We have some new equipment too on the podcast. As you can see, I'm a sharper image right now. I will not be on the rest of the podcast, but today we did buy a brand new lens because we listen to you guys and we care about you and we love your feedback.
Welcome to AnnieWood.
Okay, you guys, I've never said your last name, so I don't know if I'm saying it right. You're just Jordan.
What
to
is
me.
it? What is my last? What
Is it Wiseley?
Wisely?
Wisely,
Yeah,
close.
choose wisely.
Okay, choose wisely.
Just an extra e in there. I don't know where it comes from.
Choose wisely, girls. Do you want Jordan or Fessy? We have Jordan here. Jordan is, I don't want to say favorite because it'll make everyone else upset, but
Yeah, you don't have to, but I'll just know
but
it.
you'll just know.
Yeah, I'll just know it.
We're going to tell everyone they're my favorite, and then when the cameras are off, the truth will come out. But Jordan was on The Real World in Portland. He was on Railroad Road Rules Challenge, which is now just called The Challenge. He's on The Challenge. What is it called now? What's the one you're on now?
World Championships.
Champions.
Yeah, the World Championships is airing right now.
Jordan's a winner, okay? Jordan's a winner. I think he may have had sex with the hottest girls I've ever seen in my life. Jordan is the top.
This is such a
Jordan
good
is the top.
or like biography.
Jordan,
so you can write
you're
it.
cocky, you're good, you win, you land it, and when you don't win, you're just humble enough. Like it's not too.
I
It's
know.
like
That's the
it's
thing.
just-
You got to take your licks.
but it's just really slight.
Yeah.
and it's good. And
Yeah,
then it's
yeah.
cocky right again, right
Yes.
afterwards.
Yeah, because I got to you know who's gonna root for you more than you root for you.
Yes.
You know,
No, it's good.
probably your mom.
I was just gonna say, I feel like your mom is obsessed with you.
Not obsessed, but she's
Yes,
big fan.
She's
big
gotta
fan.
be proud of you.
But yeah, loves the put me in my place too.
Well, I've seen your little what were you, wakeboarding or something when you were a kid?
Yeah,
Oh,
that was
Jordan,
I went through. I
fans.
feel like I went through like I've had a bunch of different lives.
Yeah.
Within this
Yeah.
life. Wakeboarding was like it came later because I wasn't really allowed to wakeboard growing up because my dad was like, oh no, like sports and you'll get hurt. I would
Your
ask
dad wouldn't let you play sports?
no because of sports because
Okay.
he'd go, well, they don't give scholarships for wakeboarding and,
Yeah.
and motocross
Right,
and
okay.
the things that I wanted to do
I was
the
gonna
most.
say it's so funny if your dad was like, you can't do this, kid, and you're like, I'll show you, Dad.
You know what? There was one time we were at some Mexican restaurant and I was like 14 years old. I was a freshman in high school, and basically this was the time where there was no more you get to race motocross and play football. It was you're playing football. That's it, because
Yeah.
that's how you're
Uh-huh.
going to school. And I was bawling my eyes out like this angsty teen. I'm like, you just wait, Dad. I'm gonna win a championship in motocross, and I'm gonna dedicate the trophy to you. And he's like, I hope you do. I hope you do. Eating that enchilada. Yeah, whatever. You're playing football though. Got practice tomorrow.
That's another thing about you. We've seen you cry.
Oh yeah, I've turned into a big old.
I saw you get dropped from an airplane onto the ground. I saw
Straight
you
to
get
the
dropped
ground.
out of. You've had the people's worst case scenario. You had a skydiving accident.
That one hurt.
That was the beginning of the
hurt.
challenge.
That-
Didn't you win though?
Did
you win that
was
one?
the beginning of the final. It meant absolutely nothing to the race. They're like, all right, you're gonna jump in, and you're gonna land, and you're gonna be with TJ, and then you're gonna start there. So landing, like the skydiving had nothing to do. It was all theatrics, and I slammed straight into not a groomed patch of grass. It was rocky desert in Argentina. So
And then they're like, all right, the challenge starts now. You're like, what in my leg?
yeah.
All right, so this is going to be an interesting episode because I don't know if all of my fans are also fans of the challenge, but if you guys aren't fans of the challenge, become fans of the challenge.
Yeah.
It's the best
Become
show.
fans of the challenge, then
It's
we can
the best
all.
show.
It's so good because it's a good it's a great mix of like sports and drama. So
Mhm.
you can like talk mad shit
Yeah.
on each other and we can hurl like really good insults and like digs.
You were so nice though on this reunion.
Thank you. Oh, well, I had to be. I had to be.
You
know
were
what?
in the
'Cause
middle of a lot.
Come on, yeah.
I was like, I really thought it was gonna be like fireworks, and you were like,
I was not about to.
let's just say
I
every
had
hot
no
girl had
flammable
something
devices.
to say, and he was just like, even Laurel popped in. Oh my god, you're
Yeah.
always surrounded by girls you've hooked up with. There's always.
Oh
We
my
sent you that
God.
video where
And people were like, you have a type, and I'm like, yeah, strong
Yeah.
and good looking,
Yeah.
okay. And so who sticks around the longest? The strong, good looking ones. And so yeah, I'm sitting in a reunion, and I'm like, oh, I
you
have
had
such
girls-
good taste.
have you had girls try to hook up with you that you're not into on the show?
Of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
we won't say names, but
No, yeah, of course. And like you have to get really good. You don't have to, but I try and be really good at like letting people down.
Right.
And I say people because it's not just females, you know what I mean? And I'm flattered all the way
Yeah.
around. But and you have to live with them more.
yeah,
So you don't want this to be like an awkward thing when you wake up in the morning and you're like, hey, and you have to do these like long bus rides together, and you're like, no worries. So it's like
You're
totally not.
you're
like-
so lucky that Fessy is there. Like Fessy really takes so much of the heat off you.
Yeah.
Fessy
He
is
really
another
is.
guy in the show who he develops like serious relationships with like 5 girls the first day in, is what it looks like in the edit.
We have a theory about it's like it's the alpha male
Yeah.
theory, right? Because when we're put in the challenge, we are sequestered away from like everything. No
Uh-huh.
phones, no internet, no phone calls.
Yeah.
You get 1 10-minute phone call a week.
And they make it be to like
Wow.
Corey or someone that's not there.
Yeah, it's
Force it to be
always-
like someone that was on the challenge last season.
Yeah, it's always like or like so girls can like gossip with
Yeah.
another castmate. So we're totally out. Like for example, when we did season 30, it was 2016 during the election. So at night when we were going to bed, you have to ask them, get your lights turned off. We're like, hey, we're ready. In your mic, you're like, we're ready for bed. Can you turn off our lights? And you're looking at the CCTVs, and then they like turn off. And then a producer will come by and be like, hey guys, everything good? If they're like, hey, yeah. What happened today?
Yeah.
And he like, who said what? You know, because
Yeah.
then during that election, we're like,
Yeah.
who said what today? And so that's how we were like finding out about the
Yeah.
election for like 3 months. So yeah, when you're sequestered away, you just have nothing. And it's like being on a desert island,
Mhm.
right? And women, I think you look at Fessy and yeah, that if you were in the
Yeah.
wild, that's
Yeah, like
who
I could
you're
climb
going.
him.
The
It'll be easier to
big-
get to the
yeah,
coconuts.
you are procreating with that guy.
Yeah.
And then also in the challenge, time is exponential. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say you and I meet, we like each other. We're gonna hang out at the club. We probably spend like 3 or 4 hours together that
Right.
night, like chit chatting and everything.
Yeah.
And then I call you a couple days later. I'm like, yo, let's hang out again. We hang out again for like
But you
another
are roommates.
5 or 6
Yeah.
hours. You know, in one day we hang out with each
Yeah.
other for 18 hours a day.
Uh-huh.
So you get through like 4 dates worth of
Yeah.
conversation in a day.
Well,
And so now they're just in like 3 days. They're like, yeah, Fessy and I are gonna settle down,
Yeah.
and we're
And
we're
they're like,
having.
yeah, but the minute
I'm
that-
having his babies.
those
His children
minutes
are
you're not
babies.
with Fessy, he's with some other girl.
As soon,
Having the exact-
as soon, and they know. They all like know about it. Like I know how the bathroom. I know how women's bathroom works. You know what I mean? That's just like a gossip hole. So they all know like who, and I think they probably schedule it out, especially watching 38. Some of
Yeah.
those clips, I think they scheduled it out. It was like Michelle got up,
Yeah.
and Fessy just had enough time to stretch and put an arm out, and then like bam, Laurel is down.
Wait, are Michelle and Jay a couple?
No, they're
They just cuddle?
friends. Yeah.
In front of
I
all
think
of
so.
us?
Jay is you know what that?
Oh, I loved your confrontation with Jay. That was
Oh,
fun.
during
Yeah.
the show. You know what? That was so crazy to me. I gave him such an out, and we could that season actually could have shaped up so different because coming in, I didn't really know where we sat alliance wise. I
Yeah.
had some friends over on the young side. I had some friends with the vets, and then Anissa
You
is
don't want
kind
to
of
call
like
them old, huh?
all over. I was like, oh shit, where do we go?
Yeah.
So I told Jay, I was like, hey buddy, if you want to be in alliance, we can we can work together. After he said our name the first time, I was like, it'll be water on the bridge. Like,
Yeah.
totally. Like, we're not going in. We didn't go in. Then he said our name again and again and again. I was like, you little idiot.
Well, here's the thing I'll say about Jay.
You could have had me on your team.
I never met Jay before, but he looks like he's got some fish swimming up there. You know what I mean? He looks like he's been knocked in the head a couple times. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, Jay. It doesn't seem malicious. You're like, I think he's like really like not thinking things
He built a couple
through.
sketchy bike ramps in his day. You know,
Yes.
like yeah.
Like this is what your dad was saying. Your dad was like, maybe stay away from that.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, you might not be right. You might be a little squishy headed for a while.
Squishy head.
But that's just my take. Who knows? But we're watching Survivor right now, the new season, and there's like a romance starting that's pretty funny. They're gonna get voted out so fast.
Yeah.
But you do feel for them because if you start vibing with someone and you're in these
they're
weird,
like, alliance. Yeah. They're not voting for each other.
but then you're like, and then people are like, you should probably stay away from each other. Like when people say that about, then you're like, you want to bang that person so bad.
Yeah.
When someone's like, this is a bad idea, you're like, bad idea banging. That's the best banging there is.
Bad idea banging.
But
So what do you think of? Can you see a difference on the show? Because we're the only show that combines like
yeah,
all of these, right? All the
Yeah.
fast. So main, Big Brother, Survivor. Do you watch Big Brother?
Mhm.
Big Brother, Survivor, The Challenge, Amazing Race. Do you see a different? Can you see a difference in
well,
people?
Amazing Race. I'm like, get out of here, guys.
Yeah,
What are you
I know,
doing?
I
They
threw
may as
them
well be
in
like
there,
100 years old. It's
We're
like
on
that's like
the network now, so I was
it's just like Amazing Race. It's like
that was a business. That was for business.
for some reason, Amazing Race is only interesting to me if there's like a couple from another show I really like that I want to watch. But it's like I don't know why Amazing Race can't. It doesn't capture me.
Tori and I we could have.
Oh, I know.
We could have.
Oh my God.
That would have been the best Amazing Race season.
Bessie, you
Ever.
ruined a great Amazing Race episode. You blew it.
Yeah, we could have been. Yeah. Like,
Now, do you and Tori follow each other's OnlyFans or?
OnlyFans? No, I don't subscribe to anybody on OnlyFans.
It's a weird OnlyFans is so. And now you're new to OnlyFans this year, I think, right?
Yep.
And so, are you getting girls or guys on that OnlyFans, Jordan?
Both. I mean, it is predominantly guys. Come on, like, yeah. But I'm come on. I live in West Hollywood.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
This is nothing. I'm literally the most popular guy in West Hollywood. You know what I mean? When I go out on Saturday nights, it's wonderful. No, it was actually on season 38. Is like Tori and Devin and Nelson and Fessy and all they all have OnlyFans, right? and like we would all be sitting around and talking, and they are
And they're just
telling
going
me how
cha-ching,
much
cha-ching, cha-ching,
how much they're
cha-ching.
making. I was like, what? I go, they're like, yeah, man, it's like a cheat code, and I was like, yeah, that's
Now,
crazy.
I've only seen your like ads for it, and it'll be you like in underwear. And do you
Yep.
put the hand in? Is the hand the selling point?
Oh, yeah. I have had people. They're like, "Can I?" Because there's, I don't know if people will ask for customs.
Okay.
Which is like, can you take a picture?
It's like
that
a
I,
naked cameo.
request? yeah. Number one is like, can I get a nude? And I'm like, no, I don't do those, but you can have some underwear.
Will you
and
send your actual underwear to people?
I haven't, but
you would.
I would, and it has been requested. I guess I just haven't followed through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, you know what's super
In the comments?
tough? Yeah. You know what's so here's something for your comments. Because this is a new market space.
Right.
What does a pair of used underwear go for?
Yeah, I don't know. I always feel like
There's no set menu on
'Cause the
OnlyFans,
foot-
so it's all up to you.
the foot stuff is kind of where people have always requested from me. And I never remember that someone asked me for shoes in the beginning of, what was that?
Yeah.
They wanted my
Shoes.
socks or something in the
like,
beginning of the
her
pandemic.
socks and her
So
dirty
got me
shoes.
about
What were they going to
shoes
pay
is
me?
a lot.
$3,000? Was it $3,000 or something?
Yeah, but you could get, I think you could get like 10 grand for shoes, honestly.
I'm holding out for $1 million.
For like an
Honestly,
old
yeah.
pair of shoes.
I think so.
Oh,
Well, it depends
my
on
God.
how far my
I guess,
star
yeah,
is.
you have to
God.
like kind of set your own price, I guess, Because they'll try to get away with
Because
paying
there's
the
not
least
just anyone's
amount.
underwear. You're not just some guy on OnlyFans. It's Jordan.
Right. And yeah.
Yeah, you could say you
Damn.
wore those when you like beat Josh and the rope tug.
I
Oh
kept
my
these in a
God.
Ziploc bag ever since.
My lucky underwear. Fucking Josh.
I've been fucking waiting for these to appreciate and value. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I don't know, but I
kept
know
them.
girls that like will send videos of their feet for $500 doing
Oh,
stuff.
we know of women now selling farts.
Oh yeah, going to the hospital because she
What?
over farted. That one girl.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Some girl was hospitalized. I'm like, what are you eating? What are
Did
doing?"
you see her diet?
No, what was she? Did she
It
put
was
her diet up?
like eggs and beans and come on, and like garlic, and it was literally stuff that made rank. It made her gassy and rank. It was like heavy fiber.
Wow. It
And-
kind of reminds me of how you went to the Ukraine. It sounds like their diet.
You know,
Look at Hero Jordan. He's like, look, I wasn't getting any hero pussy yet. How else? What other angle can I come at?
yeah, that was
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a
Good boy.
super. I don't know. I was definitely searching for something that was like at a rough time, like
Mhm.
personally, and then went over there and was just kind of like gripped by the whole thing
Yeah.
and just ended up staying.
Yeah, you're like, I guess I can't just pop in and out. This
Yeah,
one. How long were you
which
there for?
was, almost 50 days, 48.
Wow.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, long time. We like within like day one that we got there, we just met the right person, and then it just literally went.
What did you end up like? What was your day like there? What were you doing?
Wake up like 4:30 a.m. So the border crossing, Ukraine had a curfew. Ukraine had a
Mhm.
curfew set, and it opened at, and there's the time change right when you cross the border. So it's like 6 a.m. here. As soon as you cross, it's 7 a.m.
Oh,
there.
really? That's
Yeah.
fun.
So 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. was their curfew. So we would literally have everything loaded up. We had 2 vans, everything loaded up, ready to go, about 2 tons of supplies each, waiting at the gate. We were literally like 2 of the first 5 people across every
Mhm.
morning. We go in, we drive about 5 hours in, and we have a distribution center in this little town called Khmelnytsky. We set up shop there. We also got an apartment there after about 2 weeks. So
Mhm.
Kevin and I would stay there with one van. One van would bring in supplies. We would go in further, taking the supplies deeper. We'd drop off the supplies, grab people, usually women and children. It was usually wives and children of the soldiers that were
Mhm.
still there fighting, and because their families like
Were they like, oh my God,
waited.
Jordan stole my girl again?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
God
and I
damn it, Jordan's back.
that was honestly some of the most terrifying.
I know,
like,
it must have been
things
crazy.
because these guys, like, you just drop off the stuff to these guys, they're literally out in the field. We're
Mhm.
finding these units out in the field, and then we're meeting their families there as well. We're having, just so it's all quick, they're meeting us there. So as soon as we unload, they get in,
Yeah.
they shake our hands, and they're like, all right, take care of my family. And
Yeah.
they're like,
And they're like, we'll try.
"Yup." and yeah, and now
No
now
pressure.
we're in a race against the clock because
Yeah.
we have to get all the way to
Right.
and we have to make a decision. We can either make it all the way to the border, which is, a good like 12 hours or 14, whatever it was, all the way, or we just go spend a night at the flat, and then they get in the next supply van that goes back.
Was it like things going off near you and stuff?
We we had 2 instances where we had people in cities that were getting bombed, but they were in shelters. And me and a couple other guys, we actually watched it happen from about 2 kilometers out. So we were like on the phone with them, like, okay, yeah, you're gonna have impact in like 4, 3. Yeah, and like so they would like hear it and feel it and stuff. You'd see like
Yeah.
missiles, like cruise missiles. That was the craziest thing when first time we ever saw one of those. It was like, we're like, oh my God, look at that plane. We're like, oh my God, that's not a plane. They look like little planes up there. Or whatever. They're just
Damn.
flying like so low and slow. And they're just like cruising, like, oh, that thing's probably traveling 1,500 miles to go land somewhere or potentially get shot down. But yeah.
So what was like when you went there? Like, what did you have to do? You just flew over there and was like, "I'm here to help." Basically,
Yeah, this is
It's
so.
like,
This
Are you
question.
guys a fan of the challenge? Do you guys know TJ?
so I woke up one
Fessy
morning.
got
we had
there,
been-
like, a
we had
couple
been
hours
watching it.
earlier.
That was the thing. I was like, I heard he was going, and I was like, no. So I woke up and we had been watching the invasion and everything, and I was like, the big story was that people were going over to join like the Legion and like go fight and everything, and they were like wanting to like pick up guns. I was like, oh my God, like, and then that was my question: how the fuck do you get into a war zone.
You could just, like,
you just
get
fly
in?
into a war zone? Like, what's the... And so my roommate, Kevin, and I, we were
Is
like...
Kevin the guy I met? Did he come to the show?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Kevin. No. That was AJ.
Okay.
AJ. Dude.
Sorry, AJ.
Oh my God. AJ is my, my brother. He and I have known each other for like 9 years old. We played ball together, college, and now live together. So like, great guy. But Kevin, ex-firefighter.
Okay.
And he an ex-paramedic. And so he went over with me. But he was like, you know what? I was thinking the same thing. Like, I wonder what the nearest operating airport is. And it was Warsaw. So like, oh, how far is that? It was a 4.5 hour drive.
You're like, war's in the name? Oh, shit.
I was like, that is nothing. Yo, my Poland's an ally, dude. We can go. And so we did. We went and we booked a car and we found people online who were going and we like all vetted each other with our passports. People from all over the world. Portugal, Iceland, Germany, Poland, Canada, dude from Cincinnati who's an actual combat medic.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, it was like a cool little, a nice little eclectic group. We rented an Airbnb literally 800 meters away from the border crossing that we were going to. So they got there a day before us and they settled the Airbnb. When the lady who owns that house, when she found out what we were doing, she goes, "Oh, I'm not going to charge you guys."
Oh,
we're
that's
like,
nice. I thought you were like she was charging double. I was like, oh, this lady's a bitch. This
We're
lady's
like,
a bitch.
wow.
What's her name?
And then it just became, and that's kind of like how everything was when like people found out like what we were doing. Everything, they're like, "Oh, you're here to help? Okay, cool." For day one, Kevin and I get there, we get our car, we go down, we check in at the house, and then we're literally a stone's throw from the refugee camp. And so I go, Kev, we're gonna go up there and we're just gonna find the guy in charge and ask him what he needs. And he goes, okay. So we go find a guy with a bullhorn and a vest. And I'm like, dude, that's the dude. And like everyone's asking him questions. I was like, that is definitely the guy.
Yeah.
So we went up, introduced ourselves. His name's Sasha, as is everyone over there. So it's super easy to remember. And we're like, hey, this is what we do. And this is what we're good at.
Yeah.
What do you need the most? And and we're not really the guys
like, I'm
who
good
like
at puzzles, but I'm really
Yeah. I can run. I
If you
can
have a weaker
carry
link,
stuff.
if I can carry a person.
I literally told, I go, yo, I'm probably the best person at like picking stuff up and putting it down that you'll ever meet. So like
can
put me
climb.
to work. I was like, I can drive literally anything.
Yeah.
I was driving dump trucks like before I like had my license. So
You were, huh?
Yeah.
You're just gonna throw that in?
Well, we had a construction company growing up, so
That's
we
so
were
funny. I
always
was
doing
like,
dumb
you're
shit.
just such a boy. You were like, I gotta get on that truck.
Yeah. So and he goes, well, you going to Ukraine? I go. Kevin and I looked at each other and we told everyone, we're like, yo, we're not going in.
Yeah, we're just going to like check out. Yeah.
Also, we also didn't tell anybody. I told Kevin, I go, Kev, you can tell your mom and dad. I was like, but I'm not arguing with anybody. I go, we're going to help women and children. We're going to help innocent people get out. I go, I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't give a fuck. I was like, but they're lining up tanks and shooting them at apartment buildings. So I was like, let's go like help. Didn't want to pick up a gun. We're not doing any of that. We just want to get people out and, just help. So
there's probably so many people that are like, I gotta get a gun.
Yeah.
I gotta shoot some shit
hell
up.
no. Yeah. So then, so we told them, we're just gonna go to the refugee camp and help there. And then his first question is, you willing to go in Ukraine? We're like, yeah.
You don't want to be a
well,
pussy.
I got a truck coming today and we need it driven over. And we're like, yeah, cool. We drive over. We cross the border that time, and the guy looks at our passports. He's like, you live in Poland? We're like, nah. He goes, you live in Ukraine? We're like, no. He goes, what are you doing here? I go, we came to help. He goes, you come from America to help? We're like, yeah. He goes, you know where Chicago is? I go, yeah, I've been to Chicago. He goes, Michael Jordan. I go, yeah, man, Michael Jordan. He goes, you guys are a bunch of cowboys.
You're like Jordan.
Yeah, literally like ones. He goes, oh, you guys cowboys. We're like, yeah. And from then on, we were known as the Cowboys because
Oh, that's
apparently we were
awesome.
the first Americans to cross at that border, crossing like when the whole thing started. So from then, every time we'd come through, they'd be like, oh, the Americans. Yeah, they're good. Yeah.
That's awesome.
You're like, wish I could stay, guys, but
Yeah.
I got a challenge.
Yeah, that was it. Literally, I had booked something already, and that was what pulled us back, which is honestly probably good because the weirdest thing was it became addicting. It was the feeling
Because it was so excited. It was so like adrenaline.
It's adrenaline and the sense of accomplishment every single day. Like it got to a point. So by week 2, we had already been contacted by the UN, and they're like, "Hey, can you come in and let us know like what corridors and stuff you're using? Because nobody's crossed there where you guys and nobody's working there yet." We beat any other humanitarian group by like 2 weeks. To get to crossing and
like,
working.
do we get a Purple Heart or is there gonna be a ceremony?
Well, my grandfather was active duty military for 27 years.
Yeah,
fought in like 3 wars. And now still runs one of the largest military base in Oklahoma, Fort Sill.
Is that where you're from, Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
Funny.
And so I called him before going, and I was like, "Hey, this is what we want." I called him. I go, "Hey, I don't feel good about this. Like, what's the best way to help?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well." He goes, honestly, it's going to be helping move people.
Yeah.
He goes, that's what they're going to have a humanitarian crisis for a long time, just with the sheer movement of people. He's like, so if you can find a way to help with that, he goes, that would be what I would suggest.
Was it easy to get them through the border or was it open?
Yeah. So women and children, yes. Men, it's illegal. They outlawed 16 to 85 men. In the ages 16 to 85, you could
men's rights activists. I'm not never on your side. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. There were, I mean, yeah.
Did they make them go into the military? Did they have to fight?
It was weird. So they have, you'd like pull it, there's a bunch of little towns. So I was very geographically naive about Ukraine.
Yeah,
I was like, it's like gray and Russian, No, it's some of the most lush farmland I've ever seen. The ground is like super, super fertile, of huge farms. And that is one of the huge reasons that Russia wants it, because Russia can't grow shit.
Yeah.
So they want Ukraine, who supplies all this wheat and agriculture, and they have good meat, and they have steel, and they have import export ports. So that's the whole, it's business.
Yeah.
Like, they all can say whatever they want. It's business.
Yeah.
It's all business and pride.
I don't know enough about anything going on to talk more about this. I'm going to start to look really stupid. Give this up.
What about you? Answer that question that he asked earlier, because that kind of got sidetracked. What do you think the difference between like the Survivor players and the Big Brother players?
The players.
Yeah,
well, Survivor, you have to lie more, and Big Brother, you're liars. Like you lie.
Thank you. That's the number one thing. That's the number one thing I say to him is
Like real world, you guys didn't have a money prize, so you guys just had to get along with each other, or not get along with each other. You just got wasted and fucked each other, or didn't fuck each other.
Yeah, and they pay you like just enough to like not do. Like you have like no leash. You know what I mean? You get like $200 a week.
On Real World?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
what we got,
funny.
$200 a week.
But they paid for your food and your drinks, right? Or they made you pay for your drinks, right?
You're supposed to pay for your drinks, but then there's a lot of bartenders who they'll like, they just hook you up. So like you can get hooked up that way, but you got to buy your own food. You got to buy your own groceries. You got to buy all that stuff. And working, you have to get some type of job, but you can only work a max of like 10 to 15 hours a week, because some people would just be like, oh fuck this, I'm going to work, like it's boring right now, and they'd be like, no, we're not doing a show about you working. So you're not working 30 hours a week. So it's all very, they had a system for how to like make you lose your mind and go crazy and scream at each other. That's the one way I describe the challenge. You're like, what's it like being on the challenge? I go, white collar prison.
And then so they give you alcohol on the challenge though, no?
They give you alcohol on the challenge, but they use it as a tool to make you cooperate, as if we're children getting Happy Meals. And then and they like control it.
Yeah.
Like how much, so they'll be like, okay, we're bringing out beer and wine tonight,
Yeah.
and there's 30 adults,
Yeah.
right? And they bring out 2 bottles of white wine and like 24 beers. Or they'll be like, okay, here's 2 beers for everyone. And then how many people want wine? We're like, yo, this isn't my 3rd grade birthday party. Bring the fucking
like
booze,
Manischewitz,
you
is a fucking bar mitzvah.
motherfuckers. Yeah. Like, yo, no, this is stressful as shit. You got
Do they
cameras on
ever
your face?
like over serve you guys alcohol, or do they always
Well,
just
it's Josh,
underserve?
just really Josh.
That is 100. You know what? I've never seen someone get drunk so fast for how big he is. Like he
Seems like such a kid.
thinnest blood in the world. It's like straight
crying. Like, why are you crying?
Yeah, immediatly.
Why are you crying and fighting with your friends? He's always fighting with his own allies.
It's always and but you know what? That's a Latino thing.
Yeah, totally.
Like my mother's Panamanian. That's like a thing. Like like Latino families, like they go hard on each other.
Yeah.
And then they go hard for each
Yeah,
other too.
totally,
So
yeah.
that's literally Josh. Like I remember when him and like Fessy got kicked off that season.
Yeah.
Josh threw a cup and busted Fessy's face open. Fessy stiff arms him, is like, get the fuck back. And Fessy gets kicked out, and then Josh cries.
Josh was weeping.
For both of them to do the whole thing. And I'm just like, what is this? And he was like
Casey's
begging
just
and
like,
bleeding. Yeah. I was like, what in the world?
So is Theo mad at you? I'm assuming you're banging your partner this season?
Yo. When did he? I was like,
Theo's tall now. I'm just worried about Theo.
God, damn. No, it's so funny about Kaz. I haven't even told Kaz this. But yeah, I like knew Kaz through, like
The
3
world,
points
yeah.
of separate. Yeah.
Mhm.
You threw what is that, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
And I was always like, yo, that Kaz girl is
Yeah.
fine. And she like
And she's
kicking
good,
ass.
yeah.
Yeah. Like, if I ever met her, I'd throw some rays at her. You know what I'm saying? Well, flash forward to the challenge. I'm like, oh shit, I'm probably gonna get picked up there. I'm like, oh, this is different.
He's
And then
just towering
and then
over
we
you
get
from
picked.
behind.
And you know how they say never meet your heroes?
Yeah.
So I met her and I was like, but when you meet her, I met her in a business sense. Like we're now paired
Yeah, so
together,
you gotta
and
get it
we're in
going,
a
yeah.
business contract now. Especially
Mhm.
when I'm on a challenge, like I'm not there to be on TV.
Right.
You
yeah.
know, like you
You're
guys
trying to
just
win, yeah.
you guys just get the added benefit of I'm a damn good showman.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I am there to compete.
Yeah.
And you guys are lucky enough that there are
Yes.
cameras there. But 99% of people, they show up and they're like, oh, we're on TV today.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care.
Are there cameramen or is it just all CT? Like, is
No,
it
yeah, lots of cameramen. Yeah.
So you
Well-
can't really forget they're there.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, no, and Kaz, she's new in this world, and it is a production,
Right,
we
yeah.
have 250 people on set,
Mhm.
when you're on a challenge day, and so,
So
it's
fun.
huge, and she's just like boop, 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 bopping, bebopping through this whole thing, and I'm like, yo, you need to get your fucking head on straight, woman.
We're trying to win some money.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, man. Yeah. So they say never meet your heroes. Well,
Now,
don't meet the women you find attractive on Instagram.
Speaking of partners, you handled the blaming of the twisted ankle pretty well.
Yo, what? Can we unpack this?
Yeah, wait, let's
The
talk
blaming.
about
Can you
No,
agree
it was
that?
wild.
How is
It
that
was
my
so
fault?
wild, Jordan. You handled it very well. That testimonial where you're like, your face is like, and I like Anissa. I'm from Philly. Anissa's.
Yo, I love her, but and I hold my family accountable just as much. And okay, I'm gonna explain this whole you cut the course thing. Okay. We've competed in this spot before.
Yeah.
And so TJ says, go. And we're taking off, and you literally can see it. You're going to go right up here about 200 feet, and you're going to make a 90-degree right. And there's just some like trees and some grass, and like it's right there. We're behind everybody, and I make a joke. I'm like, Anissa, come on, we're gonna cut right here. We'll smoke everyone. And everyone was like, ha ha ha, he. And we cut, when I tell you, like 20 feet off of this corner.
And immediately.
It's like right here. We're like, I'm still talking with the guys. I'm still like, hey guys, look, parkour. So we're just fucking around. 90 seconds into the race. And she, ooh, oh.
I'm just an innocent witness. That's all. I don't. Maybe it's the production.
But at the end of everything, Annie, it actually was my fault
because you sent her off course.
Before this was set in motion, 10 weeks before. I fly in. I got there late. I had 5 days notice coming up on this thing, and I fly in. They're like, all right, this is what it is. This is gonna be your partner, and like, cool. So I walk in, and Anissa and I see each other for the first time, and they're like, we're gonna get you guys in an interview right now just to get your feelings and everything. I'm like, cool. So we go right into an interview, and they're like asking us all these questions, and they finally get to one of the last ones, and it's always like, what do you think your weaknesses are? And I'm like, easy. Anissa's ankles. So as long as I literally said that, and I go Anissa's ankles. So if we can get over that and keep her healthy, I really believe our chances. I thought I was being funny, and I was going like not to the obvious places. Like, well, endurance is gonna be a weakness, and like I'm like on ESPN, like, well, we were working in the off season, but I think we're still gonna struggle in the speed area, but we got a lot of horsepower. No, I was trying to be funny, and I set myself up 90 seconds into the final. Oh, my cooch. Oh, my cooch. That elimination will be one of my favorites forever. So
now, okay. So first time you win the challenge, what's your first purchase? What do you buy with the money?
What?
And how long does it take to get the money? Probably takes a while, right?
So back when I first started winning, it was a little bit different pay structure. You got first half of your winnings when the first episode aired, and then you got the second half of your winnings when the finale aired.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, that was fun. I was like, this is rad. They stopped doing that on Dirty 30 when they decided it's great to make everyone wait until the reunion to find out who won, including us. God. So we literally finished the final, and TJ's like, "Oh, you guys are done. Great job." I'm like, "Sweet, who won?" They're like, "We'll tell you later."
Oh my God.
Like,
because that's when they started doing like the timing of everything.
Yeah, like segments and everything. And I was like, no. I was like, there's a finish line. Tell us now. And they're like, no. So I waited like 3 or 4 months just wondering, like, are they gonna screw me?
Yeah.
Are they gonna do the whole switcheroo?
What are they gonna take out? Yeah. What are they gonna? There's a different expense we didn't know about.
So now you wait until the finale airs, and then you get
the whole thing
paid. Yep. You get paid then. First.
But is the finale is not the reunion?
The finale, no, it's not.
So
the reunion.
You got a nice outfit on at the reunion. You're like, okay, I got to. Or no, wait, they filmed the reunion because they filmed the reunion.
We filmed the reunion like halfway. Yeah. So you're still like broke status. You're like, fuck. Especially starting out, they really. So I'm a SAG actor as well as right, and I think I'm. Oh, Davon also is a working actress.
We love Davon.
Yeah. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of D. So I get to see the huge differences of scripted sets and unscripted sets.
Oh yeah.
And the pay when there is no union behind you and it's like, and when you're just starting out on the channel, it's like they know how to work the system. So it's you're really fighting your butt off to like stay as long as you can because you're paid
per episode.
No, week.
Oh, really?
So it's a week of time. Yeah. So if we decide to bust ass and get 3 episodes that week, then
that sucks.
Yeah. Well, or you could have it easy. We could just like one. But,
I used to do Girl Code on MTV, and the way that they would pay us was each episode. So we would shoot. It would be like 18 episodes or something. So you'd shoot every episode. You fly to New York, shoot every single episode, and then only what you're edited in you get paid for. That's why Andrew Schultz and Charlemagne Andrew Schultz and Charlemagne run their mouths because they were trained by MTV to say the craziest thing they could say to get that money.
That's the Johnny Bananas method.
No, Johnny. Bananas! Wow.
That dude.
Is Mariah going to be back?
Yeah, that's what, you know,
They're going to have to put her back on one after the rumors. Mariah came in at the right time.
That was my two biggest questions that I got on like rookies was, do you think they'll have Mariah back? And I said the same. I go, they gotta have her back for
She's
one,
gotta come back
just to see.
Yeah.
Just to see. And then well, do you think they'll have Horacio back? And I was like, so the thing is, great competitor.
Right.
Like great competitor. But it's a business and you got to be able to do both. You know what I mean? So it was cool to see him open up he
made Laurel cry. That was
end
funny.
you know what? That saved my boy. He got that love triangle. You know what I mean? When all the women are like throwing themselves at you. They're like, yo, and that was like a huge inside joke everywhere. Just like, yo, I'm gonna try for Horacio. I think the secret is to tell women just when you walk in the house, I'm gonna kick the door open and I go, I'm not having sex with anyone, so don't even ask.
And then they all come to you.
They'll throw themselves at you.
Now
That's what he did.
Nerys, I mean, holy shit. By the way, I think that might be the most beautiful woman I've ever laid my eyes on in my life. Oh my God. Like, how are you a person? How are you alive, Nerys?
I know. When I see girls like Nerys, I literally avoid them at all.
No, you don't even want to make eye contact with them. You can't.
You know, in my mind, I go, every dude has thrown themselves at your feet.
Yes.
I'm not gonna be one of them. No way. Like, I will not. I'm so selfish with like likes or DMs or anything like that. I'm like, nope. I'm scrolling past. I'm not even clicking on it.
I have the same thing.
I'm not even clicking on it. I know 121,000 likes.
Yeah.
I'm like, bitch, you got 28,000 followers. Like,
sometimes she puts clothes on and I'm like, certain outfits, I'm like, Nerys, you could literally just wear a potato sack. You don't even need to be wearing the Fashion Nova outfits. Like, Nerys, you're good.
Did you see her reunion outfit?
And they put you in Tori, staring right at her.
Oh my God. I was like, what is this? Between her and Olivia sitting there, I was like, what? Your children.
Oh my God, Olivia is a queen.
So as soon as I met her, I literally looked at Johnny West and I go, easiest recast of all time, boys. That right there. Easy. That is a unicorn for casting.
I relate to her on so many levels. The weave, all of it. Everything about her. I'm like, this is like, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like I'm right there with you. Like she's tough, but she's girly.
Yeah.
She owns it all.
Yeah.
Like she's messy and refined.
Poor Nelly. It's like, Nelly, come on.
It was a losing battle. Like
let her go. Let her have this. Like
nobody is taming that stallion.
No. She's supposed to
not
be
now.
out.
Yeah, not now. No, that's a phoenix.
When she did the post with Horacio,
be reborn.
I was like, no, they can't be a couple. I was like, but thank God it wasn't. I was like, you can't.
When I met her, and then I was like, whoa. Well, because we're trying to figure out where everyone came from when you first get in the house, and I'm like, okay, so they're brother does. I was like, so they were like a thing. I was like, no
way.
I go, she would bubblegum him.
Yeah, he's
like,
nothing. Yeah.
Nah, that boy be a piece of chewed bubblegum. No shot.
Yeah.
That was like,
Nelly too. It's like, Nelly, come on.
Yeah.
But that was insane. That injury was crazy.
That was nuts.
That was wild. You were gone already, right?
Huh?
No, right behind him.
Very chill.
Were you gone yet? Sorry.
No.
It's not your fault.
No. They were gone. They were gone.
Wait. This is getting edited out. Do you get along with Danny?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Danny's
Yeah,
so
and you
cool.
know what? It's you're gonna watch it really frustrating Tori, and well, this is gonna be like a theme because it came out that Danny goes because you guys have seen that, like, so Danny's already chosen Tori, right? Okay, I'm not spoiling anything. Came out later on. Danny was like, "Yeah, I chose Tori because I thought y'all were still beefing." And people told me I should go for you. And I was like, oh, well, we're not. Yeah, because I mean, we were after 38, we were in a good place. Like, we just had to like suffer for 10 weeks and then sweated that one out.
You're a good boy on that reunion.
Yeah. Well, I
Did you have your scarf on in the reunion? I like when you look like a
babushka,
like a woman in a convertible.
Yeah, like either Thelma or Louise. Yeah, I have to create alter egos when I'm on challenges to make it through things. Yeah, I used to like complain about the dish. Remember they used to do like montages of Jordan complaining about living conditions. So now I just put a scarf on and I'm a babushka who loves to clean after my grandchildren. So that's what I do.
You're fucked up, Randy.
Guys, I love a Nutrafol, okay? Nutrafol is my favorite hair supplement. It's my favorite vitamin. Todd takes the men's because when we first started hanging out, there was an issue.
My hairline was like up to here.
Let's just say his hairline had it up to here. It had enough of seeing Todd's eyebrows because it was rough. It was,
But then I realized that millions of Americans experience thinning hair. It's more than common. It's normal.
Save your strands with Nutrafol, the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement. And it's the #1 Lederman, AnnieWood recommended as well, because it really is something I have used personally. I take 4 pills a day. I've been taking it for almost a year now. And my hairdresser screams in delight when she sees me. She's so happy I have new hair growth because I abuse my hair.
And the best part is that it's an easy addition to your daily routine. You just take 4 pills a day and get ready for gorgeous hair. The thing is, like, we have some problems with our hair up here, but downstairs, there is no problem. Downstairs is easy.
And AnnieWood, the bottom floor is carpeted.
Let's just say there's more bushes than trees in AnnieWood.
And let's just say upstairs, the floors are balding. Okay, the floors are balding upstairs. But not with Nutrafol. Nutrafol targets the 5 root causes of thinning: stress, which Todd brings me all the time. Actually, I said to Todd that he relieves my stress. And then, Todd, what did you say to me? I said, you're the person that stresses me out the least. And he could not say that back to me. He was unable to say it. So Todd's hair thinning here's the thing. Todd's hair thinning started because of me. I stressed him out. But then I brought his hair back. So I am God to his strands.
Well, in a clinical study, 86% of women reported improved hair growth after just 6 months.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that crazy?
6 months. Oh, those 5 root causes, I really only got through one. I said stress. There's also hormones. Nutrafol targets the 5 root causes of thinning: stress. So it targets Todd. Hormones. Todd really throws my hormones off. Environment. Ooh, this environment's making me stressed. And Todd is an environmentalist teen, the male Greta Thunberg.
That's right.
He looks just like her.
I love the environment.
He looks exactly like her. Nutrition and metabolism. So Todd eats a healthy, hearty diet of McDonald's. So that's why we have to supplement that with Nutrafol.
I eat McDonald's and then I take a handful of Nutrafol and I jam it down my face.
He actually, he puts it inside a Shamrock Shake.
I put it inside the Shamrock Shake. It makes it more green.
You can grow thicker, healthier hair and support the show by going to Nutrafol.com using the promo code AnnieWood to get 10% off your first month subscription. This offer is only available to U.S. customers for a limited time. Plus free shipping with every order. Get 10% off at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code AnnieWood. Okay, Dipsea is an app with hundreds of short, sexy audio stories by women for women.
You see, people get turned on in all sorts of ways. Dipsea is here to help you learn what gets you going.
Mm-hmm. With immersive soundscapes, realistic characters, and new content releasing weekly, there's always something to discover. And here's the thing, boys, they're just like, okay, there's boobs, there's butts, there's buttholes, there's vaginas. We want a storyline, okay? I don't want the pizza delivery guy to look like he's not really delivering pizza. I want to know, what did he do today?
I love
what did
the
that person do
characters.
today? I like the character building. They let you know who these people are. They're realistic people you could imagine actually boning.
I just love the lesbians.
Todd does. Todd likes, listen, here's the thing. It's for girls, but since Todd's into girl stuff, he can get off on a Dipsea too. I like to dip into my sea when I listen to Dipsea, if you know what I mean. I dip right into my sea. And you know what? And for people that aren't, listen, maybe you're not feeling sexual right now and you don't even want to think about sex. Dipsea has stuff for you too. Dipsea also offers sleep stories and wellness sessions. Tired of hearing other people talk, Todd?
All I hear is people talk all day. I go to sleep and in my head I hear jabbering and chatting and all these things.
That's because I'm sitting next to your sleeping ear talking into it. But if you're tired of hearing that, try the sexy stories of Dipsea that you can read alone or with a partner or two.
Oh, that's something I'm into.
Really?
2 partners reading together?
For listeners of the show, Dipsea is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipseastories.com/AnnieWood. Guys, I would be honored. It would be a full honor if you guys use the code AnnieWood when you listen to Hot and Bothered Stories, okay? I want you tossing and turning and thinking about me, especially you lesbians, okay?
I want it to sound like it's a like a barber shop going on in your bedroom at night. You know what I mean? Like a tattoo shop going on. I want people to walk in your house and be like, what the hell?
Buzzes and scissors. He wants buzzing sounds and scissors. And he likes scissors down there, but not the kind that cut things because he does like it thick and firm. Okay, that's 30 days of full access for free. So flick your bean for free on me. With the AnnieWood code, okay? You got to do Dipsea, DIPSEA, stories.com/AnnieWood. Dipseastories.com/AnnieWood. If I have wood, you have wood. AnnieWood.
And we all should. If you could.
Would you and Wes do a roast battle against each other? We'd make you win, obviously.
I can. We'd make you win? Like we'd control the judges?
No, we'd just make sure your jokes were better.
Yeah, okay.
I would
I would flame Wes.
Yes, I know you would. I know you would.
Oh my God. I kind of do want to FaceTime just to be like, hey, do you know this lady Annie? She's hitting me up at her podcast.
I DM'd him already. He already knows.
Oh no!
I know we should have fooled him.
Oh yeah.
Wes, we'll just tell him. We got to tell him the Wes story, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we go to Kansas City, and I'm doing shows with my girl. Do you know who Jetski Johnson is?
Jetski, yes.
Jetski, okay. Yes. I know you're around the scene. By the way, are you a chuckle fucker? I haven't asked you this.
What's
Have
that?
you banged more than one comedian? More than one is chuckle fucker status.
Chuckle fucker?
You don't know about chuckle fuckers? No. They're the best. I'm the number
sex
one,
and laughs?
I'm the number one chuckle fucker fan. I like female chuckle fuckers the most because they take the male comedians away from us, thank God.
Oh yeah, it's the groupies. I guess but a comedian
yeah.
Comedy groupie would be a chuckle fucker.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. More than one have you banged?
No. I don't. Yeah, I don't know that I've banged. I mean, you know what? This is Hollywood, and I'd say there's a lot of actresses that probably call themselves comedians.
Yeah,
too.
that's true. Yeah.
But no, not like
because I've seen you around.
Professional.
You've been around. You go to the Comedy Store.
Mm-hmm. I like. I have to make myself go out, because I don't like it, But I tell myself, I'm like, you know what, Jordan, you need to like go out to some cool places.
The best, right?
And the Comedy Store is really fun.
It really is the most fun.
I have so much fun with
it's
you guys
so
up
good.
there.
I know.
Yeah. So I want to do that. So text me more when you're going up there.
No,
and
I'm there
I'll get
usually
out of the house.
Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday. But yeah, so I do smoke weed.
Lots.
Yeah. So that's fun. I quit. I'm not smoking weed until I make $100 million. That's a rule I made.
Wow.
Isn't that fun? Is that like a fun deal? Because then either I just like don't smoke weed or I'm just so fucking rich and high as shit.
$100 million. But that's gross.
Yeah,
that's like gross. That's gross lifetime, right? So like everything you've made from birth till now.
Because my friends are like, why don't you just say like 10 million? I was like,
yeah, $100 million was.
I'm just friends with people that have hundreds of millions of dollars. So I figure if they can do it, I can do it.
You've multiple people that have hundreds of $1 million, or you know a guy who has?
Well, I know one. I know a guy with like a thicker neck.
Yeah. I was about to say, do you know a guy who got like 5 of those hundreds?
No,
Segura's probably got 100 million now.
Yeah.
Do you know how much $100 million is?
Do you know how much money we make?
Yo, that was the most Corella DeVille laugh. Do you know how much money we make? You know what?
No, once you get into like arenas, you're making like bang, bang, bang.
$100 million.
It just takes 1 or 2 deals, you know?
True that. Nowadays, yeah.
It is funny though, because I did do my Spotify live show and we went to this Spotify party where, you know, it was like mostly executives. And then they had Gwen Stefani there performing, which was really fun. And the guy kept introducing me to everyone. He kept going, yeah, I got her some money or whatever. I just want to be like, this is Spotify. The money you got me is even though it was like a good amount of money, like it was like a nice chunk of money, but it was like, I know what you have, okay? So unless it's like $50 million, like you did me dirty. Anyway, but do you do mushrooms? Are you like hallucinogens?
I do mushrooms, yeah. My schedule has been really crazy lately.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of in the middle of like adding a career
What is it?
choice in there. I'm gonna go back to racing. I'm gonna race cars.
I thought you were gonna say school. I almost was like, get the fuck out of here, you nerd.
No, I'm way too
That's
cool for school.
awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, I grew up like that's what I loved to do the most, like as a kid, like motorcycles,
Were
cars.
you rich or really poor?
No, we were poor, and we made everything like
either
rad.
one.
Yeah. So like we just had like we lived in the country, and like we lived on a gravel road.
Right.
9 houses there, like 8 of those 9 houses, everyone had like a 4-wheeler or a dirt bike or a go-kart or something. So everyone tried everything. And then when you live out in the country too, we just take our vehicles and go fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Like there's nobody out there to tell you not to. So got into that a whole lot. And then I've always wanted to get back into it. And
that's awesome.
And so
I saw your stories. You just posted like you set up like your simulator and everything, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
God, and it's a good thing. I'm very blessed to be where I am now to like be able to get into it. But God damn, they are very proud of their racing toys and things. But I guess, you know, a simulator is less than a car. But it's been a whirlwind. Like basically in the past 4 weeks, I went from being like a promotional driver with Hyundai to talking to one of their team owners at one of the races. And then he was at the end of the race, was like, you know, if you're serious about getting into cars, come out to one of our test days. We'll put you in a race car. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, like, okay,
so,
hit me here.
So I did. I showed up, and for 3 days, he gave me a race car, and I put 350 laps in on that race car, and they were all just like, "What the fuck? Like, how are you doing this?"
That's so fun.
And by the end of the 3 days, I'd actually beat the time that one of their drivers had set in that car, and they're like, "Oh, yo, if you actually want to do this, like, you got a team here. Like if you want to
they
race.
sponsor you, how does it work? They sponsor you?
So now, like this, like my management team and everything, we're talking with everything. We're like, okay, we have sponsors that already are approaching us, and Hyundai has been super on board, and like we have an extra car, and I've met some amazing people in the Wiseley Motorsports team, and they've just been super supportive about like, yo, if you want to try, and they'll let me try. And when they see that it worked out, they've been backing it. So now we go out, we get sponsors, and we go race, and we'll be racing in the IMSA series. So it's literally like televised. It's like pro drivers.
That's awesome.
I'm like, yo, this is literally Days of Thunder.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It is weird because it's like don't you feel like once you start like sort of a dream job, it's like all of a sudden it opens up and you're like, oh, I can actually do fucking
because you start to believe that anything is actually possible.
Yeah, $100 million.
Like that is really So you know what? I retract my question mark.
I think I can make it easily somehow. I don't know how. I don't know how it's gonna happen.
You're right. It is. You're 2 deals away from
just like
$100 million.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never raced car, driven.
You know what? It's one of those things like you either have done it and love it, or people have no clue about like the like feelings or anything about like driving.
You just can't be
things
like
fast.
a person that hesitates, right? Isn't it like that type of thing?
Yeah.
Or you have to be like
it's very mental. It's all like fast, predicting what the car is going to do or what people are going to do around you and like track surface. Because when you were going at speeds that like everything now matters. The temperature of the track matters. The temperature of your tires matter. How many laps you've got on those tires, everything. And these cars are like stupid. So if you put one in the wall, I don't want that tab, you know?
Yeah, I heard a big thing now is like electric vehicles being a huge thing, especially like motocross. People are like switching over to like electric dirt bikes, and they're like, dude, they are so fucking fast. You don't have to like switch gears or anything.
Yeah,
I will say our Tesla
torque
is quite fast. I love my Tesla. It goes so fucking fast.
That is so that feeling of like being like the G forces of it is it's addicting.
Really good,
Right? Yeah. So now start doing that around corners and things, and your body's like,
I met this guy. I was doing a joke about how skydiving was like boring for me because it wasn't like scary enough. It really was. I mean, how many times have you been? I only went once, but here's the thing. Obviously, didn't get a survivor.
Didn't smack the ground, did you?
But I had no it was like I did a tandem with the guy. It just wasn't like what I thought it was going to be. And then this guy in the front row of my show was like, "Oh, I actually can make the scariest shit for you. I'm a skydiver, so I want to go take him up on that." Oh God!
But you were talking about the West story when we went over.
Oh, okay. So we go to Kansas City.
Kansas City.
And we bring jet ski with us.
Did you meet Nehemiah?
Yes, we did. Nehemiah's
he's great, right?
True angel.
Love him.
Sweetest guy in the whole world. He actually gives Wes credibility.
I know.
If this guy's hanging out with you, Wes, you got a good heart. You got a good heart.
Yeah.
But so Wes and I had been like internet friends for a while, so it was exciting to meet him.
Or
and
like Hinge or something. Like social media. Yeah.
Anyway, so we go out there and he's like, come to my house because he got a nice new house, so he wanted us to see the house.
That
and it's a nice house.
So West.
And he goes, and I go, oh, I love that you live like with all these millionaires. He goes, billionaires. I'm like, that's so West to say that. But so we do like a vlog, right? And we go to his place.
In front of his mantle?
He gets us, yes, and then he gets us IVs, which
I thought you were about to say tattoos.
No.
Why
he gets us IVs. He's trying to show off like rich people things, but I get IVs already.
He probably owns that company.
He might own the company.
Yeah, he definitely owns that company.
Moves. But so, and we had a really good time. I was over there, and then he was like, "All right, I want you guys to do something." He brings out this fake boot. Okay, this like for a broken leg.
Yes.
And then he wants us to. Jesse Jet Ski Johnson is like this sweet, pure angel. I'm not much of a liar either, unless I have to be on something, but we're just not liars. So it's like, he goes, okay, pretend like one of you pushed me up. So he makes Jet Ski lie and say that she pushed him off of the stage and that his leg was broken. So he's going to have trouble competing in the next challenge or whatever.
Yeah.
We're already like sucked into this lie scheme.
And then he turns on his live. He's like, all right, I'm going live on Instagram now. So you guys got to say that you broke my ankle.
And then Jet Ski's just like.
You know how much Wes couldn't avoid Wessing was that he posted in the midst of like trying to get people to believe that he sent me something about running.
Oh, that's
it's
so
like running
funny.
times, and I commented on it. I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. I was like, damn, what'd you do to your foot? And he's like, oh, actually, it's not actually true. And
oh god, he was
like,
always being honest.
Bro.
That's so weird. What are you lying to? Like your fans?
Yeah. I was like, wait. I was like, this would be like if I like wore a cast, people were walking in and be like, I'm just kidding, I'm good. Or like trying to make it like seem maybe my leg wasn't actually broke.
What's that?
Maybe my leg wasn't actually broken when I hit the deck.
We saw.
You know what I mean?
Didn't we see the deck?
Know,
didn't we see it though?
Yeah, I know. I put an X-ray.
Yeah,
I put an X-ray up because
I know you have to put like the things. Anissa, we'd like to see that X-ray.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Yeah. Actually, I saw the scar. It was fresh and purple.
She got a
like stitches like freshly out and everything.
Yeah.
That was ACL. That wasn't ankle. That was ACL.
Oh, that wasn't the same thing. It was a
No.
different thing?
Yeah. So the ankle was totally different. She tore her ACL
After?
in the elimination with Nani.
Oh,
It was like
really?
Yeah. In round 1, so she like literally went like a a zig instead of zagging, and she goes ooh, and then she gets up. She's holding her knee, and then like round 2 and 3 happened, and then it just kept getting worse. Than that, yeah.
Nani's like, I'm in an impossible position. I've got to eliminate you. You are my friend. I'm gonna have to smack that little floppy leg around.
Yeah, I was like, yo. You can't blame Nani. People were like, oh, I can't believe Nani was dirty like that. I was like, oh, yeah?
How much do you guys listen to the comments from people? Do they affect you?
Affect? No. But I mean, you definitely like read them.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot. You just kind of skim because I also want to engage with people and like answer questions and things like that. Like, I think that the challenge has one of the best and worst fan bases, right? Like, come on, we just did season 38. The franchise is expanding more than ever.
I know, it's so cool. It's so exciting.
And that is because it's got such a good fan base behind it, old school and new, right?
I know.
So we have people that have been around for 10, 20 years watching the show. And then we still have the ability to attract new.
They did it was smart for them to pull in all the different shows. That was like a good. It's totally different. It's a completely different show. It feels like, but it's still got the meat of it.
Yeah, I like you have to evolve, right? Like you look at some of the early seasons, it was so caveman, so caveman. They would literally like do a challenge over there, and they're like, all right, walk down the beach down here. We're gonna go to elimination. It's like,
and also the prize was like $25,000. And you're like, yeah, cool.
They were short too. They're like 3 or 4 weeks. You know, it was like short. They just like run it through. They actually got like Saturdays off, so you just like turn these idiots like and lose in like all these countries. Yeah.
Well, do you know my story about when I threw up on the cast in Santa Fe? Yeah, the cast. I was a go-go dancer at this it was essentially a gay bar in Santa Fe, New Mexico, but it was the only nightclub. So I was there and I was sick, and I ran into Shane from Road Rules at the mall, and he was like,
Landrum.
Yeah, he was like, we're gonna go to Swig tonight, and I was like, oh, cool. So I'm sick as hell, and
I have to go.
I'm like, I have to go. I was such a fan of the show, and so I'm like chugging Dayquil, and then I was 20 or 21 at that point, so I was drinking like White Russian, I wasn't like didn't have like good drink, so I had like milk and I threw up.
Orange.
It was orange. It looked like a creamsicle. I threw up all over Coral. This is throwback. Coral and Rachel. They were holding Rachel back. I was in a blackout. They were holding Rachel back, who I do follow your workouts, Rachel. Sorry about the puke. Santa Fe. And they weren't filming that night, which was sad because that would have been so funny. I would have been like a blur face vomiting all over.
That would have been your first TV spot?
At that point, yeah, I think so.
So your television debut would have been puking all over.
Yeah, I would have been puking all over
the
them.
Ensemble.
And then, oh no, I ran into Shane afterwards because I remember seeing Shane. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry I threw up on all of you guys. He goes, he goes, you threw up on Coral and Rachel. He goes, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
he goes, don't you ever apologize. Isn't that so funny? I aimed at like the baddest bitches.
Was it just in your mind, like when you were like,
I think I must have just,
target lock.
I can only imagine how fun I must have been being next to them at that time. But
White Russian though,
and Dayquil.
A lot of dancing, so you're just churning that up.
Oh yeah, it was all cooking.
Yeah,
that might have been when I got my job that night. Actually, I think that's when they were like, because the host or the manager was like, "Here, I'll give you $50. Go dance on that thing." I used to get $50 an hour. Not even a good dancer. I was always falling off the podium.
Or puking on.
Or throwing up on
patrons.
People. They liked it though. They liked it. It was fun.
You go to strip clubs?
No, I mean, I talk about going to strip clubs all the time.
I would imagine you would be a great time at a strip club.
I think I would be too, except I get very like, I always end up getting a lap dance and then it gets too, like I feel like I'm in like a relationship with them. I'm like, yes, I know.
Yeah,
like,
you're like, I could
guys,
save you, honey.
Yeah, like, I'll give you extra money. It's like, you don't have to do this. Do you want to just.
like we could just talk. If you
We just, like, here are my boobs too. I don't know.
Annie does give off like she
Lesbian
does
vibes.
lesbo vibes, but she
I do.
really is not like.
I'm not. So
lesbo
then they
at
come
all.
at me and I get really confronted
I don't
by
feel
it.
like lesbo, but it's like woman empowerment where
Yeah.
you're like, you know, like Tori's very much so like that.
Yeah.
Tori's always the number one patron in a strip club.
Yes.
She's like, yeah, bitch,
You gotta give so much money. Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
You're gonna leave with my money. You're gonna have my money.
Yeah, that's exact. Yeah, that's how.
We were gonna go the other with Damien. No, I can't tell you how many people are like, we're going to a strip club, but I feel like strip clubs are the plans that never follow through. In my life, at least.
The best nights of like going to a strip club are when you didn't plan it at all.
Yeah, when you just end up there.
Yeah, where you're like, all right, we're going home, and like on your way home, you're like, oh fuck it, let's go in here.
Yeah.
and then you're like 3, you come out at 9:30 in the morning, like, God.
I remember back in the day when I lived in New Mexico, when I lived in Santa Fe, I had these roommates that were like these big coke heads. And so, you know, I didn't like coke, but you know, they'd like practically spell my name out. And I'm like, okay, fine, you know? So we would always just be, I mean, it was a debaucherous time in my life, but there was a strip club called Cheeks, and next to it was, Cheeks was the name of it. And it's Santa Fe. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know about Santa Fe, but it's not like, it wasn't the cream of the crop.
No.
And
I go skiing in Santa Fe.
And then they had, I can't remember what the name of there was like a sex toy place next to it. So I got wasted with my friends at the bar, my cokehead roommates. We go to the strip club. Then we go and buy me and this girl buy matching dildos. Oh. Like, you know, the ones that like look like a Swiss Army knife. The one your mom has.
What?
He found his mom's dildo. His mom left her dildo on the, and she does watch the show. Vanessa, we love you. Love you. But so we were leaving, we were drunk driving home, wasted. Her boyfriend Paige was driving. We're wasted. We have these dildos.
Oh, that was good. It was incriminating and then it wasn't. So
No,
you're
but
good.
it's fine. It's like,
It wasn't you.
this was however long ago. Forever ago. I quit
Is
drinking
there
when I was
statute of
25.
limitations with yeah.
With
100%.
drinking and driving, yes. We're sober now. No, I was Santa Fe. The cops used to pull me over and be like, Annie.
Pour it out now.
They'd be like, they would follow me home. They'd be like, we're going to just drive behind you.
That's so Oklahoma.
I made friends with all of them. That's why I knew what I was doing ahead of time. I was like, I'm going to go to prison unless I make friends with these cops. But so we're driving. He gets pulled over for drunk driving. The officer's like, what's going on, guys? And he just goes, look, my girlfriend and my roommate just bought these matching dildos and we're trying to find batteries for them. And the cop goes,
damn.
Have a great night. He's like,
He
take
looks
care.
at you lucky
He was like,
bastard.
this is awesome.
All right. Fucking gave her between the lines, buddy.
That was one of our, but of course I was not banging my fucking couple roommate.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
I was an innocent go-go dancer.
Why'd you have matching dildos?
We just were at the store together.
Got it. We got it. Yeah, impulse buy.
You know what I mean? We're wasted. We're on coke.
Girl, this will be so funny.
We were having a good time. All right, so we'll bring you to the Comedy Store. What else, Todd? Are we missing anything?
I don't think so. We're at an hour 15. So.
It's only an hour and 15. I feel like we've been talking for.
I know. Yeah. What else? You want to know anything? What's up?
I don't know. Can I ask hand questions?
Yeah.
Okay, love your hand. Love it.
So you know what's fun? So you can really feel in there. You can feel all the bones that started to grow because they're all of these like. Purple.
Yeah. I broke my 5th metatarsal, so I know about those.
You poor thing.
All right. Did you ever paint the nail?
No, I mean maybe I have.
Now with the girls, are you going hand first? Are the ladies like? I know this is like a move.
No,
this works.
No, I mean, does it?
You don't think so?
I don't know. I don't think it does.
You think that's a hindrance?
No,
with the ladies?
I don't think it's hindrance. You know what I think it does is I think it I don't know.
It's
Actually,
like
I've honestly always wondered, like, because most people, especially when I'm in public and I'm just doing things, they don't notice at first because I don't really treat it as And so like growing up, I would look around a lot, and you would see people I'd see kids that have like something wrong with their hand, but they'd like walk and kind of have
Nervous,
their
kind of,
arm
yeah.
up here. Yeah. And then I could see it, right? So
Yeah.
I literally remember the spot. I was running in wrestling practice one time. I was probably 6 years old. And I was like running like that. And my father came up and smacked the shit out of my hand. And he goes, run right. There's nothing wrong with your elbow. And I was like, oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with my elbow.
Yeah.
So then I just got to where I was like, yo, if you act normal,
Beat your kids.
They won't notice anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fear works.
Yes.
So yeah.
No, but it's true. It is like, it's a confidence. It's like,
yeah, I don't know. I think it probably helped my personality.
mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
that's all I got.
But maybe you
for it.
had to like, you're like, I'll show you guys. And then you just became a winner out of that.
I grew up with a huge chip on
Yeah,
my shoulder.
yeah.
Huge chip.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like everywhere I'd go, like baseball was my thing. And like, you know, baseball, you can obviously tell when somebody has one hand because you have to catch and throw.
Yeah.
And I catch and throw with my right hand. So
Yeah.
I'd catch, switch, and throw.
Oh, shit.
But I am fucking
Fast,
fast.
yeah.
Yeah, like I'm very good.
Yeah.
Right. And when you show up, your reputation precedes you.
So the girls aren't like, give it to me?
No,
Come
no.
on. What's going on, ladies?
You know, I get more weirdo dudes who hit me up and they're like, yo, you like fucking bitches with that thing, man? And I'm like,
I know, I do have like a masculine mindset.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's where we're going. I'm like, no. I had a oh Jesus, this is when I was in high school. I had a baseball coach who he was like just out of college. You know, it was one of those like players turned coaches, and I was a pitcher, and so he'd be like, you know, Wiseley. He's like, we need to have a sign for the Wiseley tickler. I'm like, what's that? He's like, you know, when you throw it with your left hand. I was like, what? He goes, yeah, you know, the Wiseley tickler. I know you'd be using it like that. And I'm like, no. So forever he'd be like, give him the Wiseley tickler. I'm
That's
like,
so fucking funny.
so that's
Well,
imagine what you're thinking in
That's
your
where
mind.
my brain. That's where my brain goes to a college, recently out of college.
I think
man's.
if I was ever gonna get into like hand stuff, I'm definitely $1,000,000 going to Vivid and like okay guys,
Yeah, make money off of
let's
it.
do some fisting stuff. Yeah, and like I'm officially done with acting forever.
Yeah.
And so, you know, going for a retirement paycheck here.
And so OnlyFans is just all clothes. Sorry, guys. I mean, women.
Yeah, you know,
Ladies.
a lot of bulge.
Undies, bulge.
Yep.
We have a new sponsor sheath
Oh yeah.
where it's underwear where it puts your balls and your dick in a different pouch.
Yeah. Hold on. My brother was telling me about these.
They're
What
kinda
are they
awesome.
called? Yeah. They're,
Sheath.
Yeah,
And then
we have
sheath.
today.
Yo, oh my God. 'Cause it's like when your balls in a
It's
sheath.
pretty cool.
And it bulges out even more. I mean, it really is like it's an extra bulge.
No,
It's a
I don't-
separation.
I
it makes it
don't-
larger.
I don't need balls.
Not that you need it. I'm just saying it's just
Balls.
everyone can use an extra sheath.
No.
Promo code AnnieWood.
Yeah, I said if I
next 20 subscribers and 20% off.
I said if I ever did Survivor, I'd wear a sheath.
Yeah, because you
Because
don't
the
want to
way-
be. We have
I'd
a
imagine
friend-
it feels like I'd imagine it feels like wearing a jock strap. Right? It's just this
Yeah.
thing like when you have your dick and balls separated like that, does it kind of automatically make you walk around with like a BDD? Like it's kind of like a big dick day all the time.
Sometimes, but then sometimes it also makes it feel like
It's just out in the wind.
makes the turtle go in the shell too a little bit because it's like kind of like
Something's happening
constricting
to
it.
it.
Yeah.
Something's like,
You know?
what's going on with
Yeah.
this?
So sometimes you're like, oh my God, what the fuck is.
feels a little weird. Yeah, it feels like that'd be something that would be weird having a sheet of garment between my balls and shaft. They
Well,
I think
usually
you can
like
get used to it though.
they're usually buddies.
So okay, wait. So I have a couple questions. Would you go on
About
Survivor?
balls? Oh.
Would you go on Survivor?
Yeah, I would. Do
Yeah,
Survivor.
I think you'd fucking kill
Yeah.
Survivor.
Thing is,
They already will know you're good though.
that's the thing. So I'd be fucked.
Yeah, you'd have to just win every challenge.
Like I would have to be so fucking useful in camp that
Yeah.
they're like, can't get rid of him. He's fattening us up. You know,
Yeah.
like this
Now-
motherfucker's out hunting and fishing all the time, but no shot that would they let me stay around.
I met Ozzy. I'm kind of surprised I didn't put him on the challenge. Ozzy from Survivor.
Oh yeah.
But he said that he thinks his OnlyFans is why they didn't let him on. I'm like, what are you doing on your OnlyFans?
Jeez.
The fuck are you doing on your OnlyFans, Ozzy?
Especially considering what Devin does on his OnlyFans.
What does Devin do on his OnlyFans?
Listen. If I told you the spectrum of like what challenge guys like make on the challenge, right? Your mind would be blown by which dude makes the most and why. And I'll give you one guess. He won 38.
Wow.
All right. He's killing it.
Yeah. Devin, I'm proud of you. I need him to kind of, he's got to be scandalous again, though.
You'll get it.
Devin, having a crush on Tori is not enough. The friend zone is boring me.
I truly don't think. I think that they are so brother and sister.
She can fart in front of him as much as she wants. But I don't know them, so you know better than me.
Yeah. No, if you got to kind of enjoy farts if you're dating Tori. Like I enjoy them. Like I laugh at all of them.
Another thing Annie and Tori have in common. Then
are you what?
She farts on my dick.
Well, maybe get your dick out of my ass. Pay your rent. Just kidding.
Fart on my dick.
We're editing that out. No, I'm just kidding. Come on, I just gotta live your life. You can't not live your life.
Yeah. Everybody sucked a fart out of somebody's ass.
Listen, you gotta just. I'm busy. I don't have time to hold farts in my own house, my own home.
I don't care what age you are. Farts will always be
They're
funny.
And they're funny.
I can't stand women who can't fart or shit.
It's just weird.
If we can't have a conversation mid shit, like we're gonna have issues. We're definitely not.
We have open door policy in our house. The door is open
always.
Constantly. It is awkward though when I'm like, ugh. Like I will catch them midwife.
Oh, that's the
midwife rough. Oh, that's rough. But we still love each other.
And she's like,
look away. Everyone has, speaking of Wes and wiping, Wes and I got into a debate. And so I need to know. I can't believe I put this debate down for so many years. Wes and Johnny Riley, they take toilet paper off the roll, they crinkle it up, and they wipe their bum.
Wait, Johnny Riley is...
he was on Johnny, Portland, and then he was on X's 2.
Yes.
Right, and so on X's 2, we're talking about it because I see this one time.
That's the guy you thought was dead. I'm like, he's not dead.
He's married to the kid.
He's not dead.
No, he's thriving. But they both, and Wes was like, yeah, that's what I do too. I go, whoa.
Ball it up?
I go, you ball it up. Do you know how sketchy that is? Like, what if you didn't ball it up correctly and a finger goes,
oh yeah, no, that's sketchy. Also, you're also clogging the fucking toilet. My twin brother used to do that, and we would.
Not gonna lie, I'm a crinkler up too. I clinker it up, ball it up.
You don't fold? You fold it, and
I feel like the fold is too. It doesn't get where you need to
get what? Because you get multiple. The thing is, how many wipes are you getting out of a crinkle? One, maybe two.
I don't know. You get some good. You get some good.
You're definitely getting shit on your fingers. I have nails, so I'm out of this conversation.
Yeah,
it's hard to type and wipe, you know. I make Todd wipe my ass for me. Todd, come in.
Do you have to use latex gloves when you have nails? I actually never thought about women having to wipe with their nails.
You have to be good with the toilet paper.
Pepper. You have to be good with the toilet paper. Oh wow! So fold, crinkle.
Yeah. Oh, big ball.
We just need a bidet. We all should just be bideting. We should be bideting. And then, wait, I just remember my ADD question. So what was your first like big purchase when you won?
I think about a car. Oh yeah, you know what? Because I was living in New York, and I had been at the William Esper studio for 2 years, and starving artist time.
Yeah,
like it sucked.
Yeah,
I hated New York. It was the fucking worst.
Was it after Real World?
It was after Real World, and then it was like I did that. I did the real world because I wanted to get into acting.
Right. Yeah.
And so as soon as I did that, I asked, I was like, where do you go to do this? And they're like, well, you got to go to a good studio. So I found the best one and applied and auditioned and got in. Did that. It sucked. And then like the heavens opened up and I got called to go do X's 2 at a perfect time, ended with the class and went and I won. I was like, oh my God, I'm getting the hell out of New York. This place stinks. And so like, I'm moving to LA where they make films, baby. Yeah. And like, it's much better to be homeless out there.
I'm so happy I don't live in New York anymore. It's so crazy. When I lived in New York, I was like, New York is the greatest place on earth. I love it here. I love it here. When I moved to LA, I was like, I'll never go back there.
Yeah.
I moved back
when I first got there, I was like,
I'm like,
this place is electric.
Yeah. Yes. No, I'm like, I'm alive. And I'm like, but I was telling Todd this, like, I blacked it out because I know there's something I don't remember about New York when I lived there because I was obsessed with it. But I'm like, was it like I was excited to be struggling so much?
Yeah. Because you know what? I think for a lot of people, that's the biggest like or like culture shock or like diversity change. Well, I mean, for me, come from small town Oklahoma. Where were you from? Philadelphia. I mean,
I lived in New Mexico. I've lived in them all of the types of places. But it is like, it's the culture shock and everything. But I was even looking at, we were watching Hot Ones.
No, not just the culture, but in your mind, for you to go to New York, you made a really big switch flip, right? Yeah. And so I think for a lot of people, it's like, I finally did the thing for me. And I think that is what the shock
because I'd been in Santa Fe for 7 years when I moved to New York, and it was
so huge. It was right, you weren't going from Philly there. It was the biggest culture shock that you were going to get.
Insane.
Yeah,
and it was really fun. Well, I was watching it and I was like, oh, they're in New York, right? Are they in New York?
Yeah, I think it's in LA.
Oh, is it in LA?
Yeah.
I thought they were in New York, and I was like, I don't want to know about people's life in New York. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't care.
I think they are LA.
It's not normal enough. It's too different and specific to New York.
Yeah, the New York, it's so easy to hide, and everyone, and like that's like the game is everyone like tries to hide, you know, and so everything's ordered to your place, and you don't really go out. Whereas like LA, everyone wants to be outside,
right?
You know, so we want to be at the outdoor cafes, and we want like, oh, you know what? I want a coffee. I'm gonna walk to go get it instead of just ordering.
I know. I get mad steps. I get mad steps here.
Yeah.
But in New York, I guess I was like walking around a lot too. I walked in New York, but it's just, I don't know. It's either too cold or too hot or something's happening.
I mean, that's just like the people. So I used to always describe the people as like, well, you get one of two New Yorkers, right? Like you're on a train and you're like looking at the map. Where the fuck am I going? You go, excuse me, sir. Can you tell me where? Excuse me, can you tell me? And they're just like, no, fuck you, bro. And then you finally go, excuse me, sir, can you tell me how to get to? And they go, yeah. What are you looking for? Oh, yeah, you want to get down there? All right, here's what you're going to do. You're going to walk down 53rd, all right? When you get there, you're going to take a right. You're going to go down there about 2 blocks. You're going to see a guy named Frankie. He's going to be wearing a yellow hat. Don't fucking talk to Frankie. He's fucking weird. You're going to take a left right there at that bodega, okay? So you got the best fucking bagels there, but go right across the street. You're going to take another 3 blocks down. You listening? You taking this down? Okay.
This is for boys.
Another 3 down right there.
There's a third when for girls, there, you know, it's the guy just jerking off on you. You're like, okay, all right.
No, well, they stop and where you going, honey? You need
dicks out the entire time they're telling you where to go.
What are you talking about? Where you going? Let me help you. You got security? I don't know a nice lady like you be there.
I think I do. I am too friendly. I talk too much to live in New York too. I was always in trouble.
Well, you were that guy.
I was the guy. I know. I was like, I'll tell you where to go.
Your dick was always out.
Fucking jerking off the whole time. Yeah, I don't know, but because Todd was saying he wants to live in New York. I'm like, I don't know if I could do it.
I would, just because our families are on the East Coast, and that would be like the best thing about it.
I would need to be like have the nicest apartment. I just lived in such trash. I lived across from when I lived in Brooklyn, and I lived across from a home for rapists. It was like a rapist home. It was like a home where they sent like sex offenders. I was like, and then a guy jumped off of our building, like killed himself in front of our building. Like it was just like that all the time. I was like, oh.
Okay.
And I want to ride the subway ever again. I'm done with the subway.
That's what I said when people are like, "Oh, did you ever live in New York?" And I go, "Yeah, when I'm filthy fucking rich."
Yeah, penthouse.
That's when I'll go back. When my car is waiting, when the the S550 is waiting, and I have Wi-Fi in that bitch, and like that's when I go back.
I don't want to have to be in
doorman.
I don't want to have to be in a cab looking at Johnny Bananas on the screen.
Your first like face up like fucking thing.
I'm like, Johnny Bananas is like so fan. This is crazy. He's on everything.
Yeah. He's a working man.
Are you friends with him?
Yes. You know what? That's been one of the coolest relationships, I think, because Johnny and I are actually like really similar in our lives. We both tinker on all kinds of shit. So we're always usually what we talk most about is old cars, because he's got a couple old cars and I've got a few old cars, and our yards. And like, he sent me a couple weeks ago, he sent me this, he's like, "Yo, just got these shoes for aerating your lawn. They're fucking sick, dude. Get you some." He sends me an Amazon link for these shoes that you like strap on your feet and walk around your lawn. They got spikes on them. Yeah. Oh,
that's good.
Yeah, we just talk about old men stuff.
Yeah. Are you friends with CT?
CT, man,
he's like out, right?
He is like, he just kind of like, he really Homer Simpsons into the bushes when he's not doing his thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's going through some stuff right now.
I know.
So my heart goes out to him,
CT, we're always on your side.
Yeah, always,
okay?
buddy.
If you need us to come to court, we'll be on your side.
And listen, nobody's gonna say we told you so. I promise. I swear, no one's gonna say that. We're just gonna welcome you with open arms, but we told you so.
But he acts too. I like the people that are parlaying.
Yeah. That's been something that what's been cool to watch as I got into reality television, it was still like taboo for reality TV to go into scripted stuff. So I'd be in all these auditions and I'd walk in and I'd nail it. I'm fucking good. And they'd be like, "Oh my God, like you're so good." Like blah, blah. And you in casting calls when you know we used to do in-person auditions and like we go in, and when they keep you in there like talking and everything, and then it would always get to like this point where they go, "Wait, you know what? You look so you're on that show." They're like, "Oh, that's my guilty pleasure." And then as soon as they would figure that out, they're like, "Oh yeah," and then you'd never get a call back. I'm like, "What? This is so weird." And then you slowly started to see a shift, like as you're like going in, like, "What's your handle?" And like how many and now they don't care.
I know.
Now they don't care.
It is cool.
Yeah. So like, and the whole jumping mediums thing, like that's been super great. Because I know acting and modeling have been stuff that like CT wanted to get into for a long time, and I thought he'd be great at it. And so now we're finally seeing like an avenue for that. So it's good to see him, going out and doing cool things.
Kids, be on any reality show you want. You can have an OnlyFans and succeed.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought about that too before getting OnlyFans. It's like, oh, is that gonna hurt
the pandemic changed everything though. It's like nobody fucking cares.
Nobody cares.
I love doing the video auditions too.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
It's so much better.
Send a perfect thing in.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is great because I messed up 50 times before.
Oh my God. I used to get so nervous at auditions. But every time I wasn't nervous, I got a call back. Every time I could handle it.
You know what really helped my auditions? Winning.
Yeah.
Because then I would walk in and not give a fuck if I got the job, and everything got really, and then I realized, I was like, oh, that's the thing that people talk about, and they're like, they can smell desperation on you. And you're like me, please like me. I'm so good for this.
Just if you think about it too, I was watching some clip of Quentin Tarantino. I think it was with Tom Segura, but he was saying, maybe it was, I don't remember what it was from, but he was saying, they were like, how do you like have such good movies? I can't remember what the question was, but he said, he was like, because I cast the person who's the best for the role. He's like, I never cast like who the hot star is or whatever. Sometimes it ends up being that. He's like, but it's always like, and if you think about it that way, where they're just casting the best person, it's like, how would me, nervous as shit, coming in, desperate for them to like me, ever be the thing that they need for their fucking movie or TV show?
Yeah.
Ever.
Yep.
So anyway, Quentin,
also,
see you at the Comedy Store, my boy. No big deal.
People casting is so funny because they're just trying to find the people they want to hang out with the most.
Yeah.
I always say, like, especially in scripted, the biggest disconnect as someone who has produced his own stuff and been cast for stuff, right? The biggest disconnect is from casting to like director or
Yeah.
creative, because the casting is taking this little paragraph about somebody, and then they're
Mm.
trying to find somebody when it's like the director and the writer, they're the ones who
Mhm.
have the idea of what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so they're weeding out a lot of people that maybe would have been a better fit.
That is a good point. Yeah. And casting people they're either really cool or so weird. I've had such a
Yeah, they
range of people.
Probably been trying to do what you're
Yeah.
doing.
No, but
And now
there's
they got
one
it. Nobody was like-
gangster. Allison Jones is a gangster casting director. She's so cool. I miss you, Allison. I haven't seen you in a while. No, but she really was fun. It would be like fun to go into her auditions. And it
Yeah.
was like low pressure because she was already cool. There were the casting directors that were very gatekeepery where you're like,
Very.
oh my God.
Some are very welcoming, like, oh, so glad to have new faces in.
Yeah.
And some, it's because they'd know, I know what your check could possibly be here. Do I want to give that to you?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Or also it's like maybe like I wasn't supposed to be like maybe I shouldn't even audition. Why are we doing this? There was one guy that was so mean to me. I was like, oh my God. I kept pronouncing Guy Ferrari's name wrong. I kept calling him Ferrari, Guy Ferrari. And he was so mad at me. I was like, I'm sorry. In my world, it's cool I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
yeah, this whole thing
Yeah.
is much better that I don't.
Like we just got back from Seattle, which was so fun. Seattle's such a weird town. They're all living in rain and kind of depressed that they're living in rain. I'm like, you
Kind
could
of.
move. Like you guys, you could move. But it also is cool. Like I see how it's also cool, you know? But yeah, Seattle. Well, you were in Portland.
Yeah.
Portland's same diff kind of.
Same, like it's just, I could do it for a while. I'm so outdoors.
Yeah.
Like I have to go outside.
yeah. So there's
so-
pretty stuff, but it's also raining while you're doing
Yeah,
it. So.
yeah. I don't like to get dirty. I don't like to get like dirty. I'm like
Yeah.
a clean.
Mhm.
Like even watch me in like finals. I do the most to try and stay clean. I won't wipe my face like when we're puking all over
Yeah.
the place. I won't wipe my face with I'll literally grab it with my because
Wait.
you gotta wear that shit.
I have a finals eating question. Now, with the spaghetti, what was so hard? Was it like nasty spaghetti,
No.
or was it just the carbs of
the
it?
the sheer. It was 6 pounds of noodles, a pound of bread.
But it seems like the best case scenario for you guys because usually you have rotten things, right? That you have to eat,
Yeah, but
but less.
and then when you hit us with the
Can you fake throw up though? Can you be like, oh, oops, and then kind of spit it out?
fake throw,
Like, can you, like-
yeah, but they will. Yes,
They can
so,
they can tell.
So okay. Do you remember the challenge that Fessy and I had to go against each
Yes.
other and drink that thing?
Uh-huh.
So about halfway through, Fessy starts just cheating.
Yeah.
Okay. So to answer your question, yes, there are ways to try and like cheat. However, they watch us closely.
Yeah.
And so during that one, he would take his drink and open his mouth, but close his throat. So everything would pour in your mouth, but it pours down the side of it, right?
yeah.
And you just kind of go like, and it pours all down the side of you. So if you look at him,
Yeah.
when he finished that thing, he is soaked
Yeah.
in this shit. And I'm just like, yo, he's wearing half of this fucking drinks. I got nothing on me. I won't even wipe my I'm like, nope, no shot, man. So yeah, like I don't when it's shitty, you can get it over with quick.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you can throw up quickly.
Yeah.
It's hard to throw, like when you would throw up the pasta, it comes up exactly like it went down.
Yeah.
And so it's just dry and it's hard
nasty,
and
yeah.
it comes in these like clumps.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucked.
Yeah, what sucks is that it's always funny, honestly. Whenever they do that, it's like
The food ones are the
it's
best. They're never gonna
always
stop.
Shut the fuck up.
They're never gonna stop.
It's because of fans like y'all that they keep that shit
Listen, I don't
in.
like trivia. That's TJ's thing. I don't give a shit about the trivia ones.
The eating one, it's just so like, and you know what I tell myself every time, 100% of the time this has happened. I tell myself if they do a stupid eating one, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna tell them fuck off. I'm not doing it. And I do it.
Yeah, you want to make money.
And I'm like,
Did you win money
God.
this one?
did I what?
Did you win any money on this one?
On
Oh, well, they gave you. Did they?
That's my girl. You know what I mean? She helped me out. Yeah.
Well, now does everyone have to give money now because they started giving money?
Yeah, I don't know. I think
Oh,
they
you're like
like
such a
set
dick.
a whole. They set a whole
Listen,
precedent.
Johnny not giving money that one time is the greatest moment in challenge history. We have a signed picture of it. I bought the merch of it. of him taking the $1 million. That's the. I'm like, we need some ruthlessness.
The thing was, it wasn't even $1 million. It wasn't like this ridiculous sum of money. You know what I mean? Yes, it was a lot of money, but it wasn't like Ashley. She stole $500,000.
Oh yeah. Just dropped a reality show on.
Edited this fucking great show
on Netflix. It's called Outlast. It's like a survival show. It's really,
it's
really
like the
fucking
show
good.
Alone,
it's kind of like
but they can fight each other.
What makes it?
You're on teams, and you could sabotage other teams.
So people literally almost kill each other.
We could like sneak into your camp, steal your food, take your fire.
They took sleeping bags from these people. These people
on the floor like on the place and run out of there.
They took their sleeping bags. They were like, okay, I guess we have to leave.
But I was going to ask you, what do you have like any reality shows that you watch that would be like, oh, if this should be good on The Challenge if some of these people came in?
He don't watch reality TV.
I don't even watch.
He doesn't know anything we're talking about. I know you don't, and you're being a good boy about it, but that's okay. You don't need to share my fandoms.
No,
You're busy. You're living it.
And you can't watch it once you live in it. I get really frustrated because the producer in me, I see things happening. So we, the Wes's, the Johnnies, myself. We do this thing, you know what I'm talking about when we're on the shows. We can self-produce, right?
Yeah.
So if we're having a conversation, right, and I know I've been doing this. I know this is great television.
Yeah.
This is good strategy or whatever the hell we're talking about, right? And the camera walks in, they miss the first 3 minutes of that. I'm literally gonna stop you. I'm like, hold on one sec. And I'm going to let you get set up. And then I'm going to be like, hey, you good, Todd? Here, yeah. And I'm going to ask you the first question again. It's not scripted. It's anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's, I know what we need. We understand what you guys need as an audience to get the full context for the decisions being made. Now, when we go through all that and I'm like, yo, this is shaping up good. We got good drama. We got good competition. And then I see how something's cut. I'm like, this is so much dumber when the way y'all did it. But the thing is, the producers are constantly in a competition themselves. Everyone wants their storyline to make it. So they're all going, so every producer is behind the camera, like typing up like what's going on in the scene and making notes about it. And so when I see that, I'm like, damn, you guys just ruined it. Because this was cool. Like what we lived was cool. I did cool shit.
I know it's
y'all
hard.
Made it look dumb.
We've been watching a lot of the cast because this is, the first season of Outlast, and then a lot of the cast members are plucked from nowhere. They've never done TV before or anything, and they're upset because they'll be like, they didn't show enough of like the survivalist stuff, and it's like, because we want to see you steal each other's sleeping bags. We want to see the evilness in your plan. So it's interesting to see like what they wish was in there, and
and it's a lot of, it has to do with just trying to fit something into like an hour. I think it should just be longer. I think episodes should just go on for like hour and a half, maybe even.
That's what the challenge is doing.
Maybe even like 2 episodes a week. That's why Big Brother is interesting because it is so much content.
Well, they brought you into the All Stars because the All Stars, nobody was like fucking anyone, no one was doing anything. They're like, we got to get Jordan in. It's weird he's in here.
Oh my gosh.
He's 10 years younger than everyone else.
But it was like,
Mark,
so
like we want you guys
there.
to still be on, Mark, but you have to like fuck someone or do something.
Yeah,
you can't all be married and like.
Yeah. And they're all like, good job, everybody. And then when it comes to like voting, they're like, well, I didn't really do great, so I guess it's my time.
Jordan, thank you for coming. This was awesome. Where can people find you? Do you have any? Are you going to save any women and children anywhere? Or?
No. I think I'm gonna be selfish and work on my career for a little while.
Work on your career. Are you hooking up with any cast members? Just kidding, guys. Watch the challenge. The camera just turned off. I watched it. Guys, watch the challenge. World Champion. What is it called? Which one's it called?
Challenge World Championships.
Challenge World Championship. Jordan better win. That's all I'll say.
He better.
He fucking better. All right. Jordan. Really do. We love each other.
It's the meat and potatoes.
Welcome to AnnieWood. This is the land of the Stannies, Annies, and Fannies, and all of us sleeping nannies. Yeah, welcome to AnnieWood. This is the land of the Stannies, Annies, and Fannies, and all of us sleeping nannies. I'm gonna ayahuasca. I'm about to prosper. Blingy on my drinky, and Randy is living proper. Protector of the sick, she'd never let her fishes die. Never known to tell a lie, she even fixed Todd's eyes. Shout out to the slugs, shout out Woody's too. Shout out Esther and Kalila and the AnnieWood crew. Cause this is AnnieWood, you know that this is how I'm living. Real and never pretending shit, you know that it's a gift. Welcome to AnnieWood. This is the land of the standies, annies, and fannies, and all of us see nannies.